Jake here for American Trucks. In this video, we're taking a look at these LED strip projector headlights with chrome housings and clear lenses fitting 2014 to 2018 Sierra 1500s with factory halogen headlights. These are going to be a great choice for the Sierra owner who's looking to update their headlights while still retaining that factory type of style. These are a great OEM Plus type of solution to cracked, faded, or just plain old headlights. They have some nice additional features, a clean OEM type of look, and a very affordable price point. The OEM Plus look always seems to be a hit amongst enthusiasts. There are some additional cool features or functionality baked in, but the parts tend to keep things looking like it could have come that way from the factory. Such is the case with these lights here. Now, for the most part, they keep the same type of design theme as the stock projector headlights you could option on the Sierra, with a couple key differences. The most obvious of which are the LED light bars on the top and bottom of the main beam. Now, these produce a cool white glow for your daytime running lights, giving the truck a more modern appearance, something that's a bit more interesting than stock. Now, of course, we have to talk about the chrome inner housings, which again lends itself to that clean modern look, and it makes it a bit more like an OEM Plus type of solution. Again, these look a lot like the factory projectors that you could have optioned on the Sierra right from the get-go. Now again, these are going to retain factory halogen type bulbs for the main beams, and they're just going to go in those projectors, which are just going to throw a bit more light for you. They also keep your factory incandescent turn signals as well, which is going to help keep the cost a bit lower, and again, make replacements nice and easy. Now, you do always have the option to upgrade those bulbs. We have a lot of choices on our site should you want to go that route too. But overall, this is a really subtle upgrade, but one that's still going to help your Sierra look factory fresh, stand out from the crowd, and have better lighting output. The lights are comprised of polypropylene housings in the back with clear polycarbonate lenses over top, sort of the standard for automotive lighting. These are all weather sealed up as well to keep out dirt and moisture, so they're built to last you a long time as well. Now, like we were talking about a moment ago, the main lighting elements are going to carry over from your headlights, your main beams, and your turn signals on the sides. But the LEDs that are included for those daytime running lights are going to have a nice long lifespan and again make for a more modern appearance. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about the actual installation process when we get there, but everything comes pretty much ready to go. There's very minimal that you have to do to get these in. They're pretty much going to be a plug and play type of install. But again, we'll talk more about that in a moment. It is also worth noting here too that these do have integrated adjusters, making them fully DOT and SAE approved, so they are street legal as well. Pricing comes in at about $550, and that puts them on the more affordable side of the spectrum when it comes to lighting for these trucks. Since these do retain those stock type of bulbs, that is going to help with cost savings versus something like a fully LED setup. Now, it's not going to have quite the same lighting output, but you can be sure that these are going to outshine your factory lights, and they're also going to end up being less expensive than an OEM replacement from GM too. And those likely aren't going to include the updated style or those LED strips. So for what you're getting here, I call these a pretty good value. Installation is going to get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter and should take you about 2 hours to complete. Now, as I alluded to earlier, these are majority plug and play. However, you are going to have to run a couple of things for power for those daytime running lights. Though it's nothing too complicated, the connectors are right here. You're basically just gonna run a couple wires, and you got quick connectors included in here too, making this pretty simple. Nothing too complicated, and again, everything you need comes right in the box. So to show you how to get all that done now, let's head on out to the shop.
For this install, you will need an impact, a ratchet, some extensions, 3/8 1/4" adapter if necessary, 7mm regular and swivel sockets, a 10mm socket, and a clip removal tool. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing some headlights on our Sierra, so let's get started. So we're going to start things off by removing our upper radiator sprout here. So we're going to grab a clip removal tool and remove all the push clips holding it in place. Now, once we have all those out, we can go ahead Pull our shroud out and set it aside. Next, we can go ahead and remove the 4 10mm screws holding the top of our grill in place. So we'll grab a 10mm socket and extension on our impact. Now these have little locator tabs on the mounting points for those screws. So what we're going to do is pull up and out and get those out of their set points. So now once we have the top of our grill released, we're going to have to come down here and remove this lower front trim panel in order to get to the bottom of our grill. Go ahead and get all that out. So we're going to have to come to our wheel well here and remove this front 7mm screw from our fender well trim in order to get to our trim panel here. So we have a 7mm socket on our ratchet, and we're going to go ahead and pull that out. That'll give us access to the edge of this panel here. So now next we're going to have to come right behind our little accent trim panel here, and there is a 7mm screw holding the end of this trim panel in place. It's really hard to see on camera, but if you feel directly at the top edge of this panel here behind our trim, you will feel the head of that screw. It's facing upwards like that. So it might make things easier if you grab a 7mm swivel socket and an extension on your ratchet. So now we'll go ahead and pull that screw out, and we can go ahead and pop our trim panel. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side and get this panel off. So now we can go ahead and pull our trim panel, followed by our grill. So now we'll go ahead and remove the 2 lower 10mm bolts holding the bottom half of our grill in place. So again, we'll grab our 10mm socket on our impact, run these off. Then we'll grab the same one on the other side. Now we can go ahead and remove the last 2 10mm screws holding our grill in place. You want to make sure your grill doesn't fall while you're removing that last screw. We can go ahead and pull this out. Now we can remove the 4 10mm screws holding our headlight in place. So we have 2 up top, 1 down in the front inside, and then 1 on the lower outside. So we'll grab our 10mm and our extension again on our impact, take these off. Now we can go ahead and pull our headlight out and unplug it. So go ahead and push our safety tab in and pull our headlight connector off and remove our headlight. Now that you have this headlight out, you can go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now we can grab our new assembly, and we're going to go ahead and reinstall those bulbs, and they're pretty much just as factory ones. So we'll grab our socket here and unseat that. Take our bulb, just go ahead and plug that right in. We'll get that right back in its socket and give it a 1/4 turn clockwise to lock it in place. Then we'll do the same thing for our headlight bulb. So pop that out. Your connector for your bulb is tucked in here, so you'll need to pull that out. Go ahead and plug that in. Make sure that locks in. And we'll go ahead, get that slotted into place, give it a turn to lock it in, and reinstall our cover here. Lock that in. And once you have it done for this side, you want to go ahead and do the same thing for the other headlight, and we can go on to the truck. Now we'll go ahead and get our headlight plugged in and get it set into place. So we'll go ahead and grab our body side connector here, and plug that into our new light connector. Make sure that's fully seated. And we can go ahead and set our headlight in place. Now we can go ahead and reinstall the 4 mounting screws for our headlight. So we'll grab our 10mm socket and extension on our impact, Go ahead and run these back in. We'll start with our upper two here. Now we'll get our lower front one into place, followed by our lower side one. Now once you have this one on, you can go ahead and do the same thing for the other headlight. So now once we have both headlights in, we can go ahead and get our front end reassembled. So we'll start with reinstalling our grille. So make sure that's lined up at the top and bottom, and we'll go ahead and reinstall the 8 10mm screws holding that in place. So we'll go ahead and start with our 4 top ones here, and again we're using our 10mm socket and extension on our impact. Now we can get our 4 lower ones installed. Now we can go ahead and get our front trim back on. So we'll start in the center here. You want to mind your bumper. Go ahead and get your tabs lined up. Those pushed into place. Then we'll go ahead and get our sides back in. So now we'll go ahead and tuck this back behind our wheel well trim. Go ahead and get this pushed back into place. Make sure that's all lined up. Then we'll reinstall our 7mm screw back here, as well as our one holding our wheel well trim in place. So once again, we'll use our 7mm socket on our ratchet. Go ahead and get this one on. Now we'll go ahead and install this wheel well one. Then you can go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Then we'll go ahead and reinstall our upper shroud here. So we'll line this back up. Make sure that sits correctly. Then we'll reinstall all the push clips holding it in place. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our LED light strip projector headlights with chrome housings and clear lenses for your 14 to 18 Sierra 1500 with factory halogen headlights. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Sierra, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.